God's command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land, glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Hello everyone, my name is Marie-Thérèse Awetor. I'm going to do it in French. Halton, tel que nous la connaissons aujourd'hui, est riche de l'histoire et des traditions modernes de nombreuses Premières Nations et métisses, des Anishinaabe au Atwadaron, en passant par les Haudenosaunee et les Métis. Ces terres entourent les grands lacs, sont ancrées dans l'histoire autochtone. Alors que nous nous réunissons aujourd'hui sur ces terres de traité, nous avons la responsabilité d'honorer et de respecter les 4 directions: la terre, les eaux, les plantes, les animaux, les ancêtres qui ont marché avant nous et tous les merveilleux éléments de la création qui existent. Nous tenons à reconnaître et à remercier la Première Nation Mississauga of the Credit d'avoir partagé son territoire traditionnel avec nous. Merci.
Madame, pour cette interprétation talentueuse de la Terre des Reconnaissances. Our first speaker is Elder Stephen Packett. Elder Stephen Packett, Anishinaabe elder, is a gift educator and cultural mediator with extensive experience for integration of indigenous voices. Teaching and experiential learning opportunity into schools and workspace with the intention of expanding our understanding of how to be in deep connection with the land and with each other. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Elder Stephen Packett.
Ani, Boju, Sego, Tanzi, Wachea, Hai Hai, Kwe. I bring greetings to you in just some of the original First Nations people that walked here on Turtle Island. I want to say Chimigwich, thank you very much to the ACCH for inviting me to this beautiful, important event today. I'm very proud and honored to be here. What I would like to do is I would like to open this event in what we call opening words. We do it with a good mind and with a good heart. So I share this with you. Ani Creator, we give thanks for this beautiful gift of today, Creator. We give thanks for the opportunity to come together with good minds and good hearts so that we can do this important work in a good way. I want to acknowledge everyone here. I want to acknowledge your ancestors. I want to acknowledge the lands of your ancestors. And I want to say welcome to Turtle Island. We give thanks for this beautiful gift of today, Creator. We acknowledge and give thanks to Mother Earth. We acknowledge and give thanks to the original nations of the trees and the plants. We acknowledge and give thanks to the original stewards of the land, the four-legged, the finned, the flyers, the feathered ones, the crawlers. We acknowledge and give thanks, Creator, to Nabish, water. For water is life, water is sacred. We must always remember that when we acknowledge water, that we acknowledge the carriers of those teachings, the females. We acknowledge and give thanks to the infinite wisdom of the grandfathers, or as you call them, rocks. We acknowledge and give thanks to the four winds that carry the spirits of our ancestors. And I would remind you in a good way that our ancestors are all here with us today, and they're happy. We acknowledge and give thanks, Creator, to Mother Earth, to Father Sun, who comes together with Mother Earth to help create life. We acknowledge and give thanks to Nokomis, Grandmother Moon, who helps to cleanse Mother Earth. And we also acknowledge our distant relations with the Star People, who have always watched over our people, all of us on Mother Earth, and will always be here to continue to guide us, if only we ask. For all of this, Creator, we say, miigwech, 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 miigwech. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Your presence here today reminds me of about 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago, when I lived in Nanaimo, British Columbia. And I was like 14 or 15 years old and alone in Canada. And it was a native family that took me in as part of their family. So I thank God for your presence here today. We want to, next on our agenda, we want to invite and welcome Adosa Adams to come and address us now. Adosa Adams. She's very instrumental in this community. We thank God for all that she has been doing.
Thank you, MC. Can we have Mr. Abi Salami as well? Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Obota, Ekason, bonjour. I greet you all in the many voices that echoes the 57 African countries and 17 Caribbean countries represented by the African Caribbean Council of Halton. I greet you all for coming here today in person, and especially our virtual audience that is watching us. I stand before you today as one of the board members of the African Caribbean Council of Halton. My name is Adosa Adams Idode. Also present on the board of the ACCH is our founder and visionary, Mrs. Adejisola Atiba, as well as a mortgage broker and accountant, Mr. Abi Salami, as well as a community leader, outspoken lady, Mrs. Christy McIntosh, and myself, who is the lawyer and an advocate for social injustice and inequities in our community. So I thank you all kindly for joining us today in our lunch as we welcome you into this August occasion. We at ACCH, our mandate, we believe that we have a responsibility to impact and effect change in our communities. And change can only begin with you and me. On that note, please join me to welcome, in continuation of our welcome ceremony, Mr. Abi Salami. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Adosa. It's a gallant, and this is what we do at ACCH. We embrace the community, and we expect the community to embrace us too. So, welcome everyone to this special occasion. This is the beginning of an unending peace and tranquility in our community. As ambassadors, we will act as representatives and promoters of good and positive conduct. We will contribute to the development, not destruction, of our society and improvements to all societal differences. Join us mutually beneficial relationship. Let's be the individual who stands up for a person or group that is targeted as discriminated against. We have the opportunity before us to collectively commit to allyship and the work of anti-oppression. As allies, we recognize that this work is hard and we must be in it for the long haul. Only then we will see real change. I implore us all today to be an ambassador, an ally of meaningful change for a brighter future. We will and must cohabit in harmony for our benefit and our future generation. Once again, I welcome you all, and let's collaborate for our better future so that our future generation, they will embrace and they will be thankful for what we do today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. ACCA came at the right point at the right time. Actually, Halton is the fastest growing visible minority region in Canada, growing 78% within a 5-year span, with Milton growing 176% in visible minority growth within the same time frame, according to Canada Census 2016. So bringing us together is the right time, and it's very, I think it's the best thing we could do. We have, as we say in French, on va allier l'utile à l'agréable. We'll have professionalism, art, and also we'll have fun. But in this case, we are going to have our first performer in this afternoon, Gloria Gift Nankunda. She is a professional, passionate, hardworking, multi-faced individual of many talents, born in Uganda. She is a skilled voice over artist, event host, MC, actress, independent producer, and CEO of Gisha Production. Without further ado, please join me to welcome Gloria Gift Nakonda from Uganda. Thank you.
A little adjustment. We're going to have Lucky Stick will be performing first just because of logistic things. So, Lucky Stick, please come and do your performance.
Hello, good afternoon. Oh, am I by myself? Hello, good afternoon. There we go. If you feel good, let me hear you say, I feel good. All right, it's time for some music, so I need y'all to talk back to me. I need you to be able to rock with me and sing with me. The first song that I'm going to be playing is called Redemption Song by Bob Marley. In case you're wondering what this beautiful instrument is in front of me, it is called a steel pan. Or it's called a steel drum from the islands of Trinidad and Tobago. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here. ACCH, that's what it is, right? Correct? Good. Thank you for having me here. And I'm looking forward to performing a few songs for you guys. Are you ready? If you're ready, let me hear you say, I'm ready. I'm ready. Nah, I can't play if you got a low energy like that. If you're ready, let me hear you say, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, it's been about a year and a half since we had some music, so let's go, right? All right, I'm ready. Oh, pirates, yes, they robbed us, sold out to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took us from the bottomless pit, and my hands was made strong by the hands of the Almighty. We forward in this generation, triumph in thee. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song. is all I ever had. Redemption song. While we stand aside and love, yes, they say it's just a covenant. You got to fulfill the goal. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? It's all I ever had. Oh, redemption song. Redemption song. Thank you. Thank you. I have a few more if that's okay. Yeah? Alright, here we go. Alright, so if everybody could just a little bit more track for me. Everybody could just snap for me. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody get some shoulder movement in there. Alright. So how many people know that even though it's been a very long year, two long years, don't worry about a thing. If you know this, help me say this. Why? Because that's what I'm talking about. It's gonna be alright. Oh no, singing don't worry about a thing. Come on, one more time. Why? Because it's gonna be alright. Said I rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melodies pure and true, singing this is my no, about the thing. Don't worry about the thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. sounds good. All right, can we have a little bit of Marvin Gaye in the house? Yeah? Come on, let me see you wait for you. Oh, my mother, there's no need to cry. Oh, and brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we got to find a way to bring some love and care to them. Oh, Father, we don't need to escalate. No, 'cause war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we got to find a way to bring some love and care to them. Sing big lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see. Come on, come on. What's going on? 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 Everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Simply because our hair is long. Oh, you know we've got to find a way to bring some love and care today. I sit picking lines and picking sides. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see. Hey, come on, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Alright, I got one more. Is it okay if I can do one more for you? Alright, come on, clap, 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 yeah. Woo! Come on. You made me happy. This you did. Yeah, yeah. Stood right beside me. Yeah. And I won't forget. No, no. I really love you. You should know, baby. I wanna make sure I'm right. Oh, before I let go. Whoa, see now we had a good time. That's not to say, oh no, hurting each other. And girl, it's a shame. No, I won't be foolish. No, no. Before I let go. da-da. Again, 1, 2, 3. I feel like the left side's doing really good. I want some more right. Back to da-da. 1, 2, 3. A little bit more. Sit back to da-da. Again, 1, 2, 3. Hey, I said I'm gonna let you go. Gonna let you go. Let you go. Yeah. Let me hear you again. 1, 2, 3, sing. You sound good, come on, again. I sing back to da-da. Again, 1, 2, 3. My name is Lucky Six. Thank you so much for having me. I hope you have a great rest of the afternoon.
Let's put a big hand together for Lucky Stick. This brother's got soul. I have to control myself down there. I wanted to get down and start dancing.
That's all right.
Thank you very much for performing here. Now, another person that has soul I'm going to be introducing. This person is actually the heart and the soul of ACCH. And that's no other than Mrs. Adesola Atiba. Please come up. The heart and soul of ACCH.
Wow, Lucky Stick. That's a very, very huge hack to follow. But thank you so much. It's from Trinidad and Tobago, but it just gave us a taste of the Caribbean, don't you think? Yeah. Thank you so much again, Lucky Stick. Good afternoon. Bonjour. What a guan. Kedu. Ekasa. Ni hao ma. Sastrika. Namaste. My name is Adesola, the daughter of Aulat, the daughter of Onidangla, the daughter of Adepeju. And I introduce myself to respect the First Nations. Thank you so much, Elder Stephen Packwood, for joining us today. And thank you to all the wonderful faces I'm seeing. Thank you so much. So, about ACCH. We started our work January 2020. And based on our mandate, we've been working on advocacy and empowerment to make Halton region a better place for our community, which in turn we feel will impact the entire Halton residents. We're currently over 100 members strong. Our council represents people from African Caribbean communities in all the 5 constituents in Halton. What is our mission statement? To advocate, build, empower, and strengthen our African Caribbean community. Mission to elevate, build, and advocate for inclusive and equitable African Caribbean community in Halton by advancing our socio-economic, professional, political, economic empowerment. ACCH will advocate to elected officials, organizations, businesses, on programs and policies that will affect our community for meaningful and tangible change. How it all started. I attended MP Adam Vancouver when he was elected in the office. He said, bring a cup. So I attended his ceremony to open his office. And we got talking. And that's the point. We got to be involved. We got talking and we said, how I've been living in Milton for 3 years now. I haven't heard anything about Black History Month. And he said, since you're saying it, you better have it. And that was how he started. The next Monday, there was Coldest Night of the Year proclamation in the town hall. And I took the opportunity to talk to the mayor, Mayor Gordon Kranz, and he was on board. And that was how we started. We had the very first Black History Month proclamation in February of 2020. Little did we know that our lives will change the very next month due to COVID-19, and that our path is destined for advocacy and more. I'm sure we all felt it would be over soon, right? We thought it was going to be over soon. But before we could say Jack Robinson, what else happened? George Floyd. On May 25, 2020, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. May his soul rest in peace. And then it was the beginning of all things made new. Because the world had time to breathe, COVID-19 actually made us think deeper. We were not running after everything else. We were at home. And so we had time to think. We had time to breathe. We had time to see. And because we saw, we had time to act. And all the other debt seems to culminate into that one debt. And it became too much to bear because enough of senseless debt became enough. And the world acted on what they saw. Black Lives Matter became the song of every race. We all came together and stood in solidarity for George Floyd. But not just for George Floyd, for humanity, for the African Caribbean man or woman. And I want to congratulate every ally here today, because that's what you're doing. You're standing up for the change that needs to happen. We were hibernating when COVID-19 came, but his death made us realize, COVID or not, life continues. And so we started the ACCH journey. In the short time, these are some of the things that we have done. We had a town hall shortly after the death of George Floyd, and we invited our elected members, community members, and they showed up. The town hall was convened in an effort to create a safe and open space for honest and constructive dialogue regarding systemic anti-Black racism here in Canada, and particularly in the region of Halton. We also discussed the importance of what we can do individually and collectively to make Halton a more inclusive region and lead other regions to emulate this. We supported food banks in all the 5 constituents. During the height of COVID-19, a lot of people suffered, and they're still suffering. We had Black History Month proclamation and celebration in 2021 in all the towns and cities in Halton region. And I just want to pause a little to say thank you to all those wonderful people that made it happen. To all the mayors, the councillors, the MPs, the MPPs that supported us in doing that. Thank you so much. Series, a virtual platform where we invite public officials, elected officials, community leaders to join our community for candid discussion about areas of concern. It's not about bottling things up. It's about speaking up. It's about acting on it. It's about getting engaged. And that's why Let's Talk does for us. We had Regional Councillor Rory Nissan, Councillor Samri Ali join us for the maiden one. We had the Chief of Police, Chief Stephen Tanner, join us. We had Honorable Minister Anita Anand. And we had leaders in the community, Barrister Edisa Adam Zidodia, Romeo Mitchell, and CEO Abiola Akinremi, join us to talk about family wellness. We know that COVID-19 actually brought a lot of thoughts around mental wellness and our well-being. We had MP Adam Vancouver join us also. We had the Director of Office of Small and Medium Enterprise, Adam Yu, and Imanzi Kayitare join us. MPP Stephen Crawford joined us July 2021. And just the last one that we did in August, we had the Director of Education, Halton Catholic District School Board, Patrick Daly, join us to talk about what to expect when our children go to school. And that's what our Let's Talk is all about. And during the Let's Talk, guess what we also do? We do culture talk. Because we believe we need to educate not only ourselves but also our allies. Because we know that when we know ourselves better, we will be able to appreciate each other better, deal with each other with care, with empathy. We'll be able to do it when we know who we are. And so, if you've missed our culture talk, I highly recommend that you check us out on YouTube and learn about all these wonderful things that we've been doing. Yes, we believe in collaboration because we can't do it alone. We collaborated with the Milton Library, Caribbean Canadian Association of Halton, Halton Black History Awareness Society, Halton Police, Procurement Canada, Akaba Cultural Exchange. So why do we do what we do? We believe we can build better and stronger when we come together as part of the solution. Inclusivity is not one-way street. We continue to ask for change. We need to be the change that we want to see. Our core values include advocacy for meaningful change, supporting inclusive society, build and strengthen our African Caribbean community, youth empowerment, professional empowerment, political empowerment, cultural empowerment. And I just want to use this time to shout out to some of our sponsors. Volunteer Performing Arts Center, thank you so much. This space was donated by them. They donated it to me last year and they waited for us to be able to do it. Halton Region, thank you so much for the grant that we got. The town of Burlington. I'm sorry. Thank you so very much. Center of Life Church, RCCG, the House of David, thank you so much. So what does the future hold? We know with worthy ambassadors and allies like you all, the region of Halton, in general, we know that we can get better. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the very first step. We've taken many steps, and it can only get better from here. We will continue our flagship program, Black History Month Proclamation and Celebration, in collaboration with other organizations in Halton region. We will also work on having African Caribbean caucus in the region, continue to dialogue through our virtual program, Let's Talk Virtual Series, and finally, allow me to introduce to you, drum roll please, our new community initiative starting 2021 and 2022 school year. We already have the support of both directors. I see the director of Halton School Board, Director Cortez. It's nice to see you. Thank you so much. And Director Patrick Daly, thank you so much. We already have them support this program, this initiative. It is the African Caribbean Excellence Scholarship Award. One of our core values is youth empowerment. Our youth are the leaders of tomorrow. And we want to ensure that they have the resources to be their best self. We want to continue to provide targeted workshops, mentoring, sponsoring, seminars to encourage, provide information and educate them to be the best they can ever be. We want our youth to understand that we are proud of them and they should be proud of who they are, of their heritage. We want to encourage them to learn more about inclusiveness, compassion, excellence, and we want them to know that they are valued, important, seen, heard. We want them to feel inspired. We want to reduce the feeling of helplessness. We want to encourage them to give it all it takes and of course understand their heritage. The scholarship will be awarded on an annual basis to students of African Caribbean and or Black heritage that have shown exemplary success in their education, volunteer, and more. It will be for students graduating and pursuing higher education in university or college, and also for students going from grade 8 to grade 9. We will be reaching out to all community leaders, businesses, organizations, public office holders to sponsor one or more of these awards. We will follow up, you can be sure of that. I love to follow up. We will follow up with more information in the coming months. These are some of the ways ACCH has been leading the change with inclusion. We call you to join us. Make our region in particular, and Canada in general, a home for all without prejudice. Thank you all for joining us today. Hashtag, be an ambassador, be an ally.
Thank you, the Lady Abba. Thank you for dedicating your heart, your time, and your effort to the community. Thank you very much. You are inspiring us. Our next speaker on the stage this afternoon is Councillor Kearns on behalf of the Mayor of Burlington. Councillor ce sera la conseillère Kearns, au nom du maire de Burlington, qui va nous adresser quelques mots.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for inviting me to the African Caribbean Council celebration and launch. I am Ward 2 Councillor Lisa Kearns, and I am here on behalf of the City of Burlington as your Deputy Mayor today. Isn't it great to be able to meet in person again? We know that change starts with each and every one of us, and the theme today is be an ambassador, be an ally. I have to say that I love this, and it reminds me of a quote from Gandhi: be the change you wish to see in the world. In Burlington, we have been working on changing to ensure that we provide a welcoming, inclusive environment for all people, regardless of color, creed, religion, orientation. When we meet at Council, we put this inclusive lens on all that we do and all our decisions. We want to make sure that the residents of our city are proud to call Burlington home. We know that be an ally and be an ambassador, be an ally is not only apropos, but also so timely and so integral for us to move forward and together as a society that we need to become. Being an ally is so much more than saying you believe in or support someone. It is listening, learning, advocating, and supporting someone, and accepting and embracing our differences. We need to ask ourselves each and every day, what am I doing to be the change I want to see? What am I doing to be more inclusive? What can we learn from each other to ensure that no one feels left behind or falls behind? Over the last year, we've been doing a lot of listening on Council, and I have personally been able to listen and connect with residents on an entirely new level. With all the difficulties COVID has brought, I'm very thankful for the connections it has helped us make. I've been able to have conversations that I've never had before. And the conversations that we have had in Burlington with our residents have been absolutely invaluable. My colleagues on Council are so appreciative for our connections that we've made with you and the African Caribbean Council of Halton. We appreciate the invitations you've extended to us to be part of the dialogue, and for being available to provide feedback and suggestions on how to help further improve our Burlington for everyone. I hope that by participating in today's event, it's just one way we can affirm our support to ACCH. We look forward to participating in many events in ACCH's future and working together to create an even better Burlington and Halton. Thank you and congratulations on a very successful launch event. I offer you this proclamation from the Mayor to African Caribbean Council.
Thank you very much for that presentation and that gift. ACCH, thank you very, very much. The importance of education. Somebody once said that a man without education is like a wandering beast. Education is so important. And that's why we're going to introduce the Director of Education, Curtis Ennis. Curtis Ennis is going to be speaking to us right now. You want to just let us go on?
Merci beaucoup. Notre prochain invité est Monsieur Cortés, qui est le directeur de l'éducation. Comme le disait mon ami, l'éducation est le pilier fondamental du développement d'un peuple. Donc, accueillons Monsieur Cortés.
Good evening, everyone. So good to be with you this evening. It's been a long time since I've been anywhere in person to see anyone because we've been behind the screens doing everything by Zoom. I am just so honored to be with you as the new Director of Education for the Halton District School Board. I was given the responsibility as of August the 1st, so I'm just a few days into the job. So thank you for the warm welcome that you have given me, and I feel completely supported by our trustees and our staff, and I'm ready to do the work. So it was, when I heard Lucky Sticks playing Bob Marley, I was brought back to a time when I grew up as a young man. In fact, you don't know this, but Bob Marley grew up, or was born just a few miles from where I was born. And so we share that history together in the beautiful island of Jamaica on the north coast in a parish called St. Anne. And so that's where I'm from. And that brings me all the way over here to Halton. And it was Nelson Mandela who said that education is the most powerful weapon with which you can use to change the world. And I think that is an absolutely true statement. We need to make sure that all of our students are feeling supported and are getting the education that they deserve. And in the Halton District School Board, we have committed ourselves to making sure that we are focusing on Indigenous perspectives and awareness, to which our Elder Paquette spoke earlier about everything that the Indigenous folks have been through on this land. It has been quite a rich history that they have, and we need to learn more. Too many generations of Canadians have gone through school not learning about Indigenous ways and knowing and knowledge and culture and perspectives and awareness, and we need to change that. And you have as the director of the Halton District School Board, Elder, we are going to continue to work on that, to change that. We also committed ourselves to environmental sustainability and environmental leadership. The Elder spoke about that and our connection, that we are all part of this great planet, and we only have one planet, and all of us belong to that planet, and we must do everything within our power to make sure that we sustain that. We have also committed ourselves to equity and inclusion. And I know that Adejosola spoke to that already, about equity and inclusion. And that is something where we know that there are great things are happening in the region of Halton, but we need to make sure that everyone feels that they are a part of, and that they're included in, and that they belong. And we want to make sure that as director, I'm committing to you, that we are going to ensure that we are eliminating any kind of racism, discrimination, any kind of harm, and that our kids are going to be experiencing the kinds of excellence and outcomes that everyone else enjoys. So students of African descent, students of Caribbean descent, we are here to support them all, to make sure that they are enjoying the success. And we're committing ourselves as well to learning and achievement and outcomes for all of our students. In the Halton District School Board, we have a rich history of excellence of outcomes, but what we want to ensure is that every single student is enjoying that success. And so that is the job that I have. And I have to tell you, and the last commitment that we have is what Adejosola also mentioned, was around mental health and well-being. We know that the pandemic has caused a lot of harm to our young people, and we need to make sure that we're focusing and giving them the supports that they need as they return to our building, that they know that they feel welcome, that they belong, and that we're here for them, and we're going to give them the love and the care that they need in order to be successful. So that's what we're committing ourselves to in the Halton District School Board. And I'm just so happy to be with you as partners to ensure that we're going to continue this great work together, because we're all in this thing together. And so thank you so much for the invitation, and I look forward to our ongoing partnership in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Ernest. Thank you very much. Speaker, it's Honorable Minister Anita Indira Anand, Minister of Public Services and Parlement and the Receiver General for Canada. Notre prochaine invitée est la ministre des Services publics et de l'approvisionnement, qui est l'honorable Anita Indira Anand. Je merci de me joindre à moi et d'accueillir Madame la Ministre. Merci.
Merci beaucoup et bonjour tout le monde. C'est un plaisir d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui. Thanks so much for having me here today for the launch of the African Caribbean Council of Halton. I can't tell you how meaningful it is for me personally, and I believe many other of my colleagues, including the Honorable Karina Gould, who is here with us today, to be here for the launch of this incredible initiative. I personally can't tell you how important it is, not just for the young people, but for citizens across our region, to have organizations like this that we can rely on, that we know are there to assist and provide support to young and old alike who want to see the advancement and the forward progression of visible minorities of all sorts, and including the African Caribbean group that we have here in this riding. My racism that I have experienced in my life is nothing, I'm sure, compared to what we have seen over the course of many years with the Black community. But there's one thing I know, and that is that racism in any measure of any type is wrong. It is something that we need to band together to fight against, and we need to continue to work together collaboratively to ensure that our communities are free from discrimination, are free from aggression because of race, because of ethnicity, and I will do whatever I can as an elected official to ensure that groups like this and across the ridings that we have here in Halton are protected against that type of racism. As minister, I have been working on procurement. Probably you know me in the area of vaccines, but I've also been working on diversifying federal supply chains and making sure that Black-owned and managed businesses have access to federal procurements. And we launched 10 pilot projects. We launched 10 pilot projects earlier this year to ensure that the Black community knew that this was a priority for me personally as minister, as well as our entire government. And in the fall economic statement, and then in the budget of 2021, our government committed to the Black entrepreneurship program so that we can continue to ensure that we have Black-owned and managed business having a piece of the contractual pie that is known as federal government contracting. And so now, as a result of our initiatives, we have departments across our government, not just public services and procurement, ensuring that they are making sure that their contracts are diversified and that we are reaching out to a variety of visible minorities right across the board so that we don't have single stream procurements. Part of that is making sure that we have disaggregated data so that we can manage and actually track that our procurements are going to Black-owned and led businesses. And so at the same time, we modernized our procurement and we made sure that we have an online application process so that we can track and manage by the numbers to make sure that we have diversified procurements. And then I will just say we also establish a modernized procurement agency so that people who have questions about how to access federal procurements have a place to call, and that they can liaise with this group within my department to ask questions, to to have assistance with application processes in procurement. Because my goal, I said, as minister, is to make sure that we are not discriminating in our procurement processes, to make sure that we do have multiple groups accessing federal procurements, and to know that the Black community is welcome in federal contracting, which is so important to me. So just to close, I'd like to say thank you so much for having me. Congratulations on this excellent launch. I'm so thrilled to be able to join you today and to support you, not just today, but going forward into the future, which is my goal and the goal of our government. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister Anita Anand. What I like about her is her passion. She has passion, and you can really sense and see that she cares about what's happening in the community. And she said a very, very important word, which is procurement. And maybe some of us don't realize what that means. That means money, right? Without money, you can't do anything. So our community needs to be able to access that money. Another dynamic person that's going to be coming to speak with us now is the Honorable Minister, Karina Gould. Please put your hands together for her.
Thank you. Merci. Good afternoon, everyone. Bon après-midi. Miigwech, thank you so much for inviting me here today. I feel very privileged to be joining all of you on such an important occasion. I think, Lady, you did a wonderful job of bringing home why today is important and why it was so timely that the ACCH came into being when it did. The world was, in a difficult situation, but I think, as you so aptly put, it also enabled us to focus on some of the inequities and injustices that exist in our day-to-day realities. And there's something that our Prime Minister often says. He often says that in Canada, diversity is our strength. But I think what the next part of that sentence has to be is that inclusion and belonging must be our identity. Because we need to make sure that it's not just about diversity. That's important, it's rich, it's what makes Canada amazing, it's what makes me so proud to be a Canadian. But the next step has to be, it's about inclusion and belonging. And that is what I have heard through all of the speeches today, is making sure that this is a community, this is a region, a province, a country that works for everyone. And yes, I agree with that. And I'm very proud to be a part of a team here in Halton with Minister Anand, with Pam DeMoff and Adam Van Couverden, with the various city and regional councillors who work so hard every single day to try and make that a reality. We have had some very tough conversations over the past year and a half, but it was about time to have those conversations. And they're not conversations that are new. I've been having them with constituents, and I see some very dear friends here in Dennis and Lisa Scott and others that have been working on these issues for decades. But they're not new conversations, but they weren't conversations that were happening as broadly and publicly as they needed to be happening. And those conversations are happening, and I and my colleagues are there for them. Because what we've learned over the past year and a half is it's not enough to not be racist. You have to be anti-racist in your actions. And what I love about today's theme, be an ambassador, be an ally, it's about saying we're here to stand up. We're here to stand beside, and we're here to support, and we're here to speak up. Because we cannot tolerate or accept any form of discrimination, any form of racism in our community, because then we are not living up to the ideals of what we should be in Canada. And I believe that we can. I have had the enormous privilege over the past year and a half to be the Minister of International Development. I'm the main interlocutor with African and Caribbean countries, and I have to say it's such an honor and privilege. I haven't had a chance to go visit them because of COVID-19, but I've had a lot of Zoom calls across the continent and across the Caribbean. Et nous sommes à la même fois ici au Canada, les membres de la francophonie et le Commonwealth. We're at the same time members of the Francophonie and the Commonwealth. We have so much to offer the world, but we need to make sure that we're taking a hard look at ourselves internally so that we can live up to those values that we all hold so dear and what the promise of Canada truly is. And today's event, today's launch, the work of the ACCH and your allies and your supporters is that one step further to living up to those values of what Canada can be. And so I'm really excited to be here with you today. I'm really thrilled to be able to congratulate you and to hopefully be able to continue to do this vital, important work with you as we move forward to build that country where diversity is our strength and belonging and inclusion is our identity. So thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup, Honorable Madame la Ministre, Karine Gold, Ministre du Développement International Development. In fact, you are it's a key position for our foreign policy, and you are not only part of integration, inclusion within Canada, but the whole world. Thank you very much. Actually, me personally, I have, because I'm here, I came to Canada as an international student through the International Development Program. Notre prochain invité, our next speaker is Councillor Samira Ali. She is speaking on behalf of the Mayor of Milton. Please join me to welcome Councillor Samira Ali. Madame Samira Ali.
Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Au nom du maire de Milton.
Merci beaucoup. Ça c'est un grand plaisir d'être ici avec vous. Hello everybody, I'm Councillor Samira Ali from the beautiful town of Milton, here representing His Worship Lord Krantz, who couldn't make it today. I have his message, but before I go to his message, I want to thank my dear friends, Idom-san, Lady Ava. These two ladies have given me the great privilege to not only learn from their infinite wisdom, but also their lived experiences on really what it is to be a woman of color and a black woman, what your daily life looks like. So I want to thank you. I want everybody to give them a huge round of applause. Thank you. I know the topic that I was given was to speak about how to be an ally, and I just want to say that, being an ally, I think, is an earned position. And so, while we must talk and we must educate and we must listen and learn, I think it has to be accompanied by action. And so when it comes to the town of Milton, in Milton we have started a We Make Milton process through which we are, for the first time in Milton's history, developing a diversity and inclusion process to see, as you all know, Milton is growing very fast. We are the fastest growing in most of Canada, honestly. And so as we change, what do Miltonians want to see in Milton? How do they want to see themselves, their sensitivities, their cultural nuances reflected in how we grow, how the services we provide to our community look like? So we have started that, but I will say that we need to do better. And in my position as a councillor, I promise to do that. As the great Muhammad Ali said, don't count the days, make the days count. So I will do in my position whatever I can to make sure that people from diverse backgrounds, ethnicities, religions, cultures are included in every decision we make at the town of Milton and overall in the region of Halton. Thank you so much for having me. And lastly, hooray for strong female leadership like Ministers Gold and Ministers Anand.
Thank you very much, Councillor Samira Ali. Merci beaucoup, Conseillère Samira Ali. It's time now to shake up because we are listening all our valued guests. Now we have to shake up and we are having our next performer, Gloria Gift Nankunda. As I said earlier, because we changed a little bit, we are just a little bit. Now she's here. We are going to proceed. We are going to have on stage Gloria Gift Nankunda. So Gloria, as I said before, she dedicated her life to the artistry of singing to become a very accomplished and successful Afro-folk soul musician. Without further ado, join me and welcome Gloria Gift Nankunda. She's not there. So, we have to change a little bit again.
All right.
Okay, so
while they're setting up, I'm going to have the next speaker come. The next speaker is going to come while they're setting up so that we can continue to maximize our time. So Director Meg Mesos, Director of Burlington Library, please come up and address us. Thank you very much for joining us.
Members of the African Caribbean Council of Halton, distinguished guests, and everyone here sharing in this special day, thank you so much for inviting me to this fantastic event. I am so moved by the music. It's been wonderful, and hearing all the speeches has just been a great moment. It's nice to see so many community leaders here in person. This is so exciting, and supporting the African Caribbean Council of Halton. On behalf of the Burlington Public Library, I want to congratulate the ACCH for creating this council and for all of the work that you have done for the Halton community in the past year, despite the pandemic disruption. As I've gotten to know a few members of the ACCH, Lady Abha and Adosa, council member, what I've learned is that the library and the African Caribbean Council of Halton have very similar goals around education, around inclusion, and collaboration. At the library, we talk about something called lifelong learning. That's how we describe education, that it doesn't stop when you finish school. There's always more to learn, and the library is there to help connect residents with reliable and relevant information. But we also realize that we can do better by listening and by talking more to our partners and the people in our communities about what they want to see in their public library. We're also deeply committed to being inclusive, both as a community service and as an organization. To this end, the staff at the library have all taken anti-racism training, and we're currently working on an anti-racism action plan for the library. As we learn how to be an ally, we look to you to help us better understand and serve the African Caribbean community. Added to this, I also want us to be able to help you fulfill your vision. Through collaboration and partnership, there are so many ways that we can work together to make Burlington a safe, compassionate, and inclusive city for all. The Burlington Library belongs to everyone in the community, and we're so excited to be your community partner, your friend, and ally, and I look forward to more collaboration and conversation over the years. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Director. I've always loved libraries when I was young. It's a place of knowledge. Now we have the internet, but libraries are still essential. So I'm going to ask next on our agenda, Renee Papin to come and speak to us. Yes, Mr. Renee, come on.
It's wonderful to be here to launch the Canadian Caribbean Council at Halton. One of the fascinating things that has occurred in my life is that I moved to Burlington in 1966 after living for 5 years in Ghana. One of the things that I've known over the years is the sting of racism. But as strong as my family was, we persevered many times. Now, just this year, I was elected president of the Burlington Rotary Club, and for the first time, I felt that I was included. But what motivates Rotarians? Rotarians are designed to work with other organizations, and we have a motto that says, service before self. And what does that mean? That means that we look at the world, look at problems that could be solved, and find solutions. One of those solutions was eliminating polio. The world said that we would never be able to do it. But now, there's only one country in the world that has polio. We're that close. This month is, this year, in 1963, Martin Luther King made that great speech, I have a dream. Rotarians have dreams as well, and we build these dreams to help those that have lost their hope. When you realize that you can change a person's life, it becomes a part of you that you need to work on and challenge. Rotarians live with the motto of the four-way test. The four-way test is a statement that we read out every day. This statement has been translated into 100 languages, and it goes like this. Is it the truth? Is it fair for all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? If you could live your life by those rules, you can change the world for the better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. René Papin, President of Rotary Club. Actually, Rotary Club and ACCH can go hand to hand as they share common cause. Thank you very much. Now, our next performer, Baba and Bam. I think this one will be the right time so to receive, to have Baba and Bam on the stage. Baba Williams, and storyteller, a motivational speaker, singer, percussionist. He was born in Nigeria, West Africa. He originated and leads both the Greater Toronto Dream Circle in the York region and the Durham Community Drum Circle based in Asia. Please let's put together our hand to welcome Baba and Bam.
Thank you. A few minutes to try and get ourselves together, do some sound check here. Can I have the keyboard louder on the monitors? Louder. how we say, how do you do? From Nigeria, West Africa. Now we're going to go to the Caribbeans and do a song from a legend. We call this the Redemption Song. I'm sure you all know the song. And I'll have my good brother there on the bass.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll still be going back to my childhood, back in Riverland, Nigeria, where we have wonderful songs. Now these songs, we sing them on a system called the 6/8. I have a son who's 15 years old, he plays the drums, but he could never play the 6/8 rhythm because he was born here, because it's not a part of his culture here. So the 6/8 rhythm is a very, very enchanting rhythm. And today, we're going to be doing some chants together with me on the 6/8 rhythms. I did a workshop somewhere in a school around Durham, and the guy called it voodoo rhythms. So yeah, maybe you're right, maybe it's voodoo rhythms. So let's join our hands. Now, you'll be singing with me, okay? And I'm going to teach you what to sing. And the first voodoo rhythms here. Can you feel that? Strange, huh? It's a voodoo rhythm. I need to get the monitors up again on the keyboard. Now the first chant, I'll sing, you will reply after me. Okay? Are you ready? And it goes, you say, Tere ajalo mane, tere, try that. Tere ajalo mane, tere. Now give a language now, right? Let me get the second drum to help me out. Come try. Yeah, 1, 2, tere ajalo mane, tere. Wow. Tere ajalo mane. I'll hear you sing that after me. Tere ajalo mane, tere. Get up. Let's go. Tere ajalo mane, tere. Come on. Tere ajalo mane, tere. Tere ajalo mane. Mori keke kon, tere ajalo mane. Mori keke kon, tere ajalo mane. Tere ajalo mane. Tere ajalo mane. Ori kodo, tere ajalo mane. Mori keke kon, tere ajalo mane. Mori keke kon.
Right back to Nigeria. Thank you for your performance. That was fantastic. I'm going to invite Mr. Akinyi to come and give us a quick announcement.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Akinyi, and I am part of the digital and social media marketing team for ACCH. I'm just here to tell you about our t-shirt here we have for ACCH, be an ambassador, be an ally. So we would like you all to support us. We have this t-shirt in different sizes towards the entrance there. So please start the support from us from here now. And we already have Honorable Minister Anita Anand. She already got her own, and she had us take a picture of her and ask us that we could share it on social media and we could tag her. So please start supporting us from here. Get yours outside. We have for different sizes. Get for yourselves, get for your youth at home. Take pictures, tag us, so that we can let people know what we have about here in ACCH, and people can know that we are serious. And please, we all need your support, and it all starts from here right now. Thank you. Just to add, it just costs for a token of $20, please. So please, we would like your support, and we appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Aki. Thank you very much. We need all the support that we can get. We've heard many languages here today. We've heard French, English. I want to teach you 2 words in Yoruba language. The first word I want to teach you is Ade, and that word means what? Anybody know? Crown. Crown. Ade. I want everybody to repeat after me. Everybody here say Ade. Okay, that means crown. And the next word I want to teach you is me. Me too. Okay, what does that mean? Maybe I mean Odu. It's sweet. So I want to introduce Mr. Pastor Ade Midu. That means my crown is sweet. Pastor, come. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, everybody, thank you, the organizers. Before I proceed, after listening to Minister Gold, Minister Indira, I'm very proud to say I'm a Canadian. You know, if those are the quality of people that represent us in Ottawa, I'm so proud about how they spoke, and the councillor from Milton as well. You know, when you have people, and today, some few hours ago, I was with Adam Valkoviden. He came to the church to talk about, you know, what he's doing, what the government plan is. And when I hear people like that talk about, I know this is more just than rhetoric. It means action. You know, when you talk about procurement, like as you said, why that is important is that when everywhere in the world, the government is the highest spender. When they give out contract to people that doesn't look like us, we are bound to always apply for jobs, to do this, to do that, to show, just to prove our competency. But when we have opportunity to compete at that level with government, not only that, people can apply for job for us, even people that doesn't look like us can apply to work for us or with us, so we can service the government. So it's no longer going to be, oh, people like this must always apply for job with people like this. So it's kind of set its paid for everyone. That's why what she was saying, I kept clapping over there when Minister was talking about procurement. It's very, very vital. It's a very important chain in our economy. So I thank them for that. Without taking too much of your time, I need to, it's a very short speech, but I need to write it down because I'm a pastor. I don't want to go into sermon while all of you are here.
Believe me, Pastor, I won't let you go into sermon here.
So thank you for the opportunity to address this August gathering and to be part of this great initiative and journey. Thanks for the executives and the board members of ACCH for the tremendous work they have been doing, especially in the last 18 months. I always tell people, not only that crises bring out the best and the worst in people, as COVID has shown us globally in the last 18 months, but crises also show who true leaders are. True leaders emerge in time of crisis. Leadership to me is the ability to be selfless and look for the good of those really in need, despite the challenges or risk one may face. ACCH has shown just that during this COVID period. ACCH has risen to the challenge of raising awareness, promoting and looking out for the interest of all African, Caribbean, Canadian within the Halton region during this precarious time. And to that, I want to say thank you very much for what you are doing. I also believe most of the initiatives, support, and services the organization provided may not have been possible without the support of some strategic partners that have provided various forms of support, either in cash or in kind, especially the city of Burlington and the town of Milton. So I also want to say a big thank you to all such organizations and individuals. Before leaving the podium, I would just like to quickly remind us all again that things don't just happen. People make things happen. If we want to see change in our community or our country at large, we have to work to see the change. If we as people truly believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion, then we should act beyond just rhetoric and make it happen in our various spheres of life. We must all be ready to either be an ambassador or an ally of the inclusive society we all dream of. We must, in all respective areas of operations, be conscious in all respective areas of our operations. We must be conscious and be more reflective and always ask yourself, am I being fair? Am I being inclusive? Am I being biased in my ideas, my choices, and even our silence? Always remember that silence is in the face of oppression, is a license to consent. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you, Pastor. I did me too. I do. I always get very nervous when the pastors come to the podium, even though I'm a pastor too, because we love to speak. So thank you very much, Pastor. Next on our agenda is I'm going to invite Honorable Dieter Conan Kwaba, Community VP, to come up. Not here? Okay, we're going to move to the next one. Oh, I'm sorry, I have an oversight here. Evangeline Chima with BMI. Come on up, please. This is Evangeline.
That's one of the things you will learn with our culture.
You have two men.
Our traditional clothes is it's a story of another day. Good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished guests, ACCH. Woo! Congratulations. I'm so happy to be part of an inclusive community. It feels so good. So why are we here today? Are you here because you want to witness the launch of African Caribbean Council of Halton? Are you here to perhaps listen to the beautiful music and dance to the tune? Are you here because you understand and want to be the part of the change that African Caribbean Halton represents? Advocacy and meaningful change. Because it matters that we understand why we are here today. The mission, the hope, and the dream. I believe with absolute certainty that we are the change that we want to see. A few months ago, after the launch of Black Mentorship Inc., which is basically an organization that focuses on fostering Black professionals' growth through skills training, I was in a room alone. I'm going to share a little bit of story. And I was alone praying. And I felt the love in my heart. It was so much. The feeling was so much that I knew I had to let it out. So I shouted, I have so much love in me, Lord. I have so much love in me, Lord. How can I let my fellow human beings know that I love them? Two things became very clear to me at that moment. That this love that I have that burns so deep in my soul that it won't mean anything. If I, Evangeline Ifeyinwa Chima, don't believe in it, if I don't do something about it, if I don't act, I have a 100% conviction at that moment that if I want to achieve a safe, inclusive workforce where everyone can reach their potential, then I need to get certain that I will achieve it. I need to believe that I can achieve a safe, inclusive workplace, and that I must act. A belief is a feeling of absolute certainty. To believe you can make a change in the community, you must see that it is achievable. If you're in a place and you don't see the change that you want, get up and do something about it. It doesn't matter what we want, it matters what we do. We must believe in our convictions and we must take actions. If we want inclusive, safe, fair communities, we must lead the way. Volunteer your time to ACCH. Ask, how can I help ACCH? How can I help to achieve a fair and inclusive community? What can I do to advance equal pay, fair job opportunities for myself, my children, and of course my community? Do you think Honorable Jean Augustine could go from a school principal to the person who paved the way for us to celebrate our culture like we're doing today, our uniqueness, if she didn't act? Not a chance. Those that paved the way for us in history, do you think they would have succeeded if they didn't act? Not a chance. So I'm gonna leave you with this today. And it's a quote by Malala Yousafzai. When the world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful.
Thank you very much, Lady Evangelina. Thank you very much, Lady Evangelina, founder and executive director of Black Mentorship, Inc. Thank you very much for fostering the professional growth and personal expansion of Black professionals in our community. Thank you very much. Our next speaker, Mr. DJ Conan from Akwaba Community, Vice President of Akwaba Community, and Madam Awita. Akwaba Community is a Canadian non-profit organization dedicated to supporting members of the Francophone African community in Canada. They have created a membership program called Solidarité Ivoirienne au Canada, SICA. Akwaba Community est une organisation canadienne à but non lucratif qui se consacre au soutien des membres de la communauté francophone d'Afrique au Canada. Mesdames et messieurs, help me to welcome Mr. DJ Conan and Madam Awita to come in on stage. A few words.
Merci Dr Lamine. Bonsoir tout le monde. Je suis Didier Kofi et je suis accompagné de Madame Awita au nom d'Akwaba Community pour saluer tout le monde. Let me switch a little bit in English for the majority of people here. So, Sister Adisola, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you for everything you're doing for the community. I remember back in 2020 when we met for the first time for the Black History Month. We didn't know that today we could have this kind of nice event with everybody, 2 ministers and stuff. I want to say thank you, and you are blessed. So from the African and Francophone community here in Canada, and being allied and ambassador, we think we are also blessed to be part of this community. And today, I want to call all the Francophone, every African living in Halton region and around Halton region to be part of ACCAH. That's what I want to send today as a message. And before I let my sister also talk about what she's planning to share with the team today, is to tell to everyone here to continue to all advocate, build, empower, and strengthen our African Caribbean community through actions. Thank you and be blessed. Thank you.
We are very pleased to be here this afternoon, and we are very grateful for ACCH for taking this initiative to organize this inclusive event and bring all of us together in order to ensure the better future for our children. My name is Marie-Thérèse Awito. I'm an educator. I work for Halton Catholic Board, and I'm very pleased to see my director over here this afternoon. I'm here to represent the Francophones, but also Francophiles. You must be wondering what is Francophiles. Francophiles, it's any of you who are learning French, who loves French, such as Lady Adiva. And I'm here to represent you because our students, our French teachers, our students who are learning French, they need to see that French communities, English, Anglophone communities, we're all together working for their future. And it's very important that Francophones and Anglophones, we unite and work together, and this is why I'm very pleased to be part of this launch, and thank you for the invitation. And I think in doing what we are doing tonight, this afternoon, and we're going to do in a few days, a few weeks, we're going to serve as an example for other cultures, other communities who are part of this region, Halton. And I'm going to conclude by saying that, by using this African quotation, which is in French, il faut un village pour éduquer un enfant. It takes a village to educate, to raise a child. And I think we are building this village together. So please join us, come in this village, so our children can have a better future and be recognized in Canadian society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It takes a village to build a child, and HCH now is becoming a big village. So let's build the child of the Halton region. Thank you very much, Madame et Monsieur. Merci beaucoup, Mesdames et Messieurs. Our next speaker on the agenda is Mr. Dennis Scott, Halton Black History Awareness Society. Their mission is learning, uncovering, and promoting Canadian Black history towards a progressive, inclusive future through annual events, including the Halton Freedom Celebration, Jazz, Blue Festival, Emancipation Art Exhibition. I know your logo, Sankofa. It's Sankofa. It's from Ghanaian language. It translates reach back and get it and bring it forward. So it reflects your vision. Mr. Scott, please join on the stage to share a few words. Mr. Scott.
Thank you and welcome. It is a pleasure to welcome Lady A and the African Caribbean Council of Halton to our community. In just 1 year, they have shown how successful working together can be, especially in our quest towards equality, jurisprudence, safety for all marginalized communities, and individuals in progress. A collaborative project with the African Caribbean Council of Halton, the Canadian Caribbean Association of Halton, Milton Public Library, and the HBHAS in a virtual presentation and Q&A with a noted anti-racist or anti-racism activist was viewed by 2,400 people, predominantly Halton students and teachers, education board members, and community representatives the day of. Within 2 weeks, we had over 5,000 viewers. So that shows a lot in regards to our educational system in Halton as to what they crave and really worship. This is especially relevant in that education is a key proponent in making qualitative change in people's mindsets from racism, prejudice, stereotyping, cultural and marginalized bias, hate and inequality. We've seen from numerous protest parades how our youth have come to the fore in standing with the BIPOC community in righting wrong practices, implementing systemic equality and change, and progressing towards a better community. The HBHAS develops programs to erode racism, prejudice, and stereotyping towards marginalized communities while increasing knowledge of Canadian history and its cultural landscape. This is achieved through events including our annual Halton Freedom Celebration Festival, annual Emancipation Art Exhibition, which is taking place right now in Halton Hall in Halton Hills, and the HBHAS Gospel, as well as HBHAS Presents, Telling Our Stories. Speaking engagements to the public, elementary, secondary, university, college students, businesses, youth mentoring, community groups, and historical, genealogical, and heritage organizations. I don't want to be too long-winded here, but I think in appreciating where Halton can go with what we're doing here today, I have to introduce where I came from. First of all, I'm a 6th-generation Black Canadian with 8 cultures to my background, including African, Costa Rican, and Jamaican. I come from a community where bounty hunters came to seize blacks in concert with the Fugitive Slave Act. A community where black tombstones were buried under potato fields, in people's homes and on baseball diamonds. Plus, census changed from black to Scottish or Irish, where one community didn't allow blacks to sleep overnight until 1970, and this is in Canada, and where blacks were denied entry into a grocery store in the 1990s until escorted by a white woman. A community where a young black woman was not allowed in any nursing school except one in Guelph, because her patients feared death. A community close to where a minister lived, who welcomed blacks to Canada, and left to teach blacks reading and writing in the US, and who became the only white person lynched by the Ku Klux Klan, and 6 students. The community also recognized as the most northerly retreat of the Underground Railroad, welcomed 114 cyclists from Mississippi who rode 2,080 miles through Underground Railroad routes 3 times to our community. A community who erected a cairn built with rock from as far away as Africa through Underground Railroad routes. A community who have banners promoting the longest continuous emancipation celebration in the world. In 2022, this celebration will be going for 160 years concurrently. A festival which brought multicultures together, representing freedom seekers who've found a new home in Canada, and diverse support groups, including the Quakers, abolitionists, and religious organizations, and our Indigenous cousins. A community whose mayor was instrumental in enabling a young nursing prospect to be the first Black Canadian graduate in nursing. A community who resurrected those tombstones and enabled Canadian historical significance, and a tribute mausoleum for as many blacks which were acknowledged as living there at one time. A community in which we, the Emancipation Festival, help achieve the Cultural Capital of Canada designation for that community. A community which brought people like Lawrence Hill up, and Reverend James Lawson, who invited Martin Luther King for the Memphis Garbage Strike Walk and was beside him at his assassination. Martin Luther said about this individual on the eve of his assassination, the leading theorist and strategist of nonviolence in the world. These are the kind of people we can bring up here to educate us in regards to racism and how to overcome it. All of this knowledge was new to me and acquired through research and collaboration with historians, activists, family and community representatives, as I was never taught my history because our ancestors were scared, according to an Order of Ontario recipient, Wilma Morrison, 81-year-old Niagara Falls, Ontario resident who invested years of her life out of her love for history and our heritage, documenting Black history and leading force in restoring the more than century-and-a-half-year-old Nathaniel Dett Memorial Church in Niagara Falls, also known as the British Methodist Episcopal Church and one of the oldest surviving Black churches in Ontario. The Halton Black History Awareness Society evolved from the request of the Burlington Caribbean Connection, as the group's youth wanted to learn more about Canadian Black history. Through research and collaboration within the Halton and surrounding communities, this was also an opportunity to uncover local Black history. It was also an opportunity to implement an emancipation celebration open to a wide, diverse public, as it was multiculturals who enabled our freedom. It was appreciated through research and historical collaboration that Joseph Brant owned slaves. However, he helped them establish themselves in what was Upper Canada and treated some as family. It was one of Joseph Brant's slaves which initiated the emancipation process when two parliamentarians saw bounty hunters taking a slave back to the States through support of the Fugitive Slave Act. This ignited John Graves Simcoe, Ontario's first Lieutenant Governor of Upper Canada, to write the Act Against Slavery in 1793, which was precedent to the 1834 abolition of slavery. It was appreciated that Ackmar Mansion in Hamilton, owned by Isaac Buchanan, an international merchant, first president of the Hamilton Club, founder of Hamilton and Toronto Boards of Trade, forerunners to the modern Chamber of Commerce, and founder of the regiment that later became the Royal Hamilton Light Infantry. It is documented that in August 1st, 1859, a contingent traveled to Hamilton for the elaborate Jubilee at Ackmar Estates, in recognition of the 25th anniversary of the passage of the British Emancipation Act, in which 500 Black and white guests attended to take in baseball picnics, formal dinners, music, and recognizing individuals within the community. This fiscal year, the HBHAS, with Metroland Media, is looking to implement a school competition toward the best research papers in Halton's Black history, as it has, according to a Halton historian, been hidden as stated. Although I do have to let you know that collecting history in this region favored white pioneer and settler history. And because of this, the artifacts within the regional collection relating to Black history are few and far between. This has happened throughout Canada, and we're now at a precipice in recognizing our true collective history. So Ellie Shep has enabled all of this history to be founded, acknowledged, documented, celebrated, and promoted. Ellie Shep has made our region the safest in all of Canada, with communities designated as the best communities in Canada to live in. Ellie Shep has enabled organizations like the HBHAS and the African Caribbean Council of Halton to prosper in educating, anti-racism programs and requisite changes, in congregating diverse cultures and communities towards best understanding and appreciating each other, towards celebrating our freedom. George Floyd has progressed our focus and determination towards equality. At this moment, we must face the choice, as President Obama said in the United Nations General Assembly Conference. We must face a choice. We can choose to press forward with a better model of cooperation and integration, or we can retreat in a world sharply divided and ultimately in conflict. It is our generations which must forge the best future for our ascendants. Thank you, Lady A, and the African Caribbean Council for propelling inclusivity, history, and continued pride in our collective communities. Together, through our alliance, we can progress Halton to Culture Capital of Canada status and continue celebrating inclusivity towards authentic equality and outstanding progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Together for Mr. Dennis Scott. Unfortunately, everything that he's talking about is very, very important. It's very vital because it's talking about the history of blacks in Canada and the United States. And these are the histories that we should be taught in schools. It should be part of our curriculum. And not just the black history, but also the indigenous history. It should be part of the history that we are being taught in school. So we need to fight that for this to happen. So again, thank you very much. Moving forward, each person that's going to be talking is only allowed 2 minutes to speak because we have gone way over time. Okay, so I'm not going to indulge any time beyond 2 minutes. Okay, person to come up is a performer. I'm not sure if she's going to be singing, dancing, or poetry. So you may have to be doing your break dancing or whatever you're going to be doing in a minute. But I'm going to ask Gloria Gift Nankudo to come up. Is Gloria here? Gloria Gift Nankudo. Okay, while we wait for her to come, I'm going to ask Mr. Ni Olushoga to come up and speak to us. Residents and volunteer of ACCH. Is he here? No? Let's move to the next person. Wale Osamelui. Osamelui. All right, come on up. 2 minutes, short and sweet, please, sir. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be part of this launch. Mr. Especially Adejisola, I'm super grateful. Be an ally, be an ambassador. Growing up, I used to hear the phrase or the sentence, mind your own business. But to be honest, to be an ally, to be an ambassador, we have to step out of our comfort zone and ensure other people's business are our business. We have to rise up for each other. We have to understand our needs. We have to understand the dynamics that play out in our lives and try to comfort each other. In order to be able to build a just, beautiful, fair, safe, cohesive, happily united or unified community, in striking that balance, being an ambassador, being an ally, plays a very strategic role. I would focus on what we do as Rotarians, to help add value and, motivate people to be allies and ambassadors. As Rotarians, we focus on friendship. Friendship is very key. We are, people with like-minded friends, united to serve the community, to serve the world, to make the world a better place, humanitarian activities, to end up as much as possible putting smiles on people's faces. The founder of Rotary, Paul Harris, in 1905, Rotary was founded. There's a very popular saying and very popular quote that we hold to our dear heart. He says, friendship is the foundation rock on which Rotary was built, and tolerance is the element that brings us together. So it's very key that we try to be friends and we ensure that we're tolerant of each other. The other thing we focus on leadership. We don't play with leadership. We try as much as possible to empower people to be able to take control of their lives, to be competent, to be able to do things for themselves instead of depending on other people. In doing that, we have formal trainings, we have informal trainings, we have what you call the DLI, which is the District Leadership Institute. That's a formal training to help members to be better people, to be leaders. We also have youth, trainings that are focused on the youth, like the RILA, which is the Rotary Youth Leadership Award. Because of time, I'll go to the third, which is the most important. The fellow Rotarian mentioned that is the four-way test. The four-way test of the things we think, we say, and we do, which means everything we do, we think, we say, is based on that. We abide on that four-way test as Rotarians. So you ask this question for all your actions. First, is it the truth? Second, will it build goodwill and benefit friendships? Third, will it be beneficial to all concerned? You know, so you ask those questions. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? So you ask those questions, and at the end of the day, you find out that most of your relationships, just like our relationships, are based on equity, fairness, goodwill, truth, you know, with each other in our business and personal relationships. So that being said, and everyone here, kindly, you know, focus on being the change that we want, you know, as long as we keep focusing on ensuring we have trust, we care for each other, we are committed to each other, the community that we build, that we're looking forward, which is a just, beautiful community, will definitely be a reality. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And that was well said, Mr. Wiley. I know that the Rotary Club is doing great work all over the world. In fact, my sister Abiola is part of the Rotary Club, and through the assistance of the Rotary Club, they were able to take a container of medical stuff to Nigeria just last year. So we know that the Rotary Club is doing some great work. The next person I'm going to ask is Patrick Daly to come and speak to us, Director of Education, HCDSB. Thank you very much, sir.
I almost never read from notes, but I think it'll keep me to my 2-minute limit, so I will refer to notes this afternoon. My name is Pat Daly, and I am the Director of Education with the Halton Catholic District School Board. I am also an ally. I would like to extend my gratitude and appreciation to the African Caribbean Council of Halton for the valuable service this organization will provide to our community, both to the members of the African Caribbean community who reside in Halton, but also to our broader Halton community. Your leadership, your advocacy, and your commitment to proactive dialogue and collaboration will have a tangible, positive impact on the lives of so many, including our youth. We're very fortunate here in Halton to live in such a growing and diverse community. As a Catholic school district, we're committed to creating conditions that will support student achievement and well-being and equitable outcomes for all of our students. We're committed to that work. We realize we have much work to do in our school board, but we are committed to it. We're committed to that work in the policies and procedures that we'll develop. We're committed to that work in the classroom environment we create. We're committed to that work to ensuring all of our students, all of our families, all of our staff feel safe, welcome, and included in our buildings. This upcoming school year, we'll undertake an equity audit of all of the operations of our board, from HR to classroom instruction. Our Board of Trustees this past April advocated to the Ministry of Education to continue to include greater diversity and recognition of the marginalized in our society, in our history, so we can tell those stories that Mr. Scott talked about earlier on. We really need the support of our Ministry of Education to mandate that as part of our curriculum, because it's so important to a common understanding for all of our students. Our board is also committed this spring to undergoing a student census, so we can better understand all of the students in front of us in our Halton Catholic District School Board. We can identify where there are different experiences for our students, and then make plans to go forward in order to address any inequities. I want to thank you again today for including me. It's a great honor for me to be here, and once again, our board is committed to the work going forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I guess it's time for us to dance or breakdancing or singing or I don't know what we're doing. But we have a tremendous performer that's coming up.
The first time I was in Burlington, I was here for the Emancipation Day with Baba by the square, about just across the road. So today I'm coming back on stage and it's such a pleasure. So I hope you enjoy with us today. And our first song is called Nkaba Sivachi Mariani Mizona. And if you go to church, this is over 1,000 times we like sing. Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay, but we're going to go on to Nyankore. We're going to sing it in Nyankore. That is my local language. So please enjoy yourselves and thank you so much for being here. It's an honor. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sherman. We can clap for him, I think. We can join him. I don't know if that's how it sounds in Polish, but we got this, right? Yes, thank you, Sherman. And I'll praise him for all his mercies. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This next song, Mr. Desola, you're going to be my timekeeper. Thank you very much. This next song is called Nkabwi Ndahi, and I'm simply saying, where would I be? A minute? Yes, please.
Oh yeah, one more song.
One more song. Perfect. Well, I am going to do a bit of Malaika because it was a special request. And I know Baba has covered it, but you've not heard this version. So you cool with that? Yeah? Let's give it's called an encore, right? In our language, just say encore, give us encore. So this is encore. Let's have it. Malaika, nakupenda malaika. Where are you? Malaika, nakupenda malaika. Ningekuoa maliwe, ningekuoa sing with me. Malaika nakupenda. Malaika nakupenda, malaika. Come on, you got this. I hear you. Nashindwa na mali. Hey, you got this. Pesa nashindwa roho yangu. If I had all the money in the world, I would marry you right now. Pesa nashindwa roho yangu. Nima nifanyeje? Kidanga wenzio. Nashindwa na mali. Where are you? Ningekuwa malaika. I can hear in the auditorium. Louder, please. Ningekuwa malaika. Together, malaika. Nakupenda, malaika. My angel, I love you, angel. Mr. MC, it wouldn't be fair if I came here and I don't give you a Ugandan dance for 2 minutes. Will you allow me? 2 minutes. Get on here, darling. We are going to do a bit of, we're going to Bunyoro. Bunyoro is Uganda. How many people know how many regions are in Uganda? Yeah, I'm lying. Geography lesson next time? Put it on the agenda, darling. We're going to do Titi Katitira. This is a courtship dance. We call it Runyege and Togoro. We shake the waist. And it's a courtship dance. The woman is trying to attract the males and saying, come court me, but just be nice. Cows, money, the usual. Diamonds, gold, you drop it. So let's have it. Titi, Titi Katitira. Titi katitira, akalenga mwile mnyani wako. Titi katitira, mwile mnyani wako. Titi katitira, akalenga mwile mnyani wako. Titi katitira, katitira. Titi katitira, titi katitira. Thank you so much for having us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
We say we're buddy.
Thank you.
Yay.
So, I've shared
a little bit, yeah? I wish we had enough time of giving you something to wear so that you can dance. Until next time, yeah? We say Njia Bonga in Zulu. We say Webale in Uganda. And then we say, how do we say thank you? CSA. And then we say Ninkukunda, I love you. And my name is Nankunda. And I've learned a new word, Monifere. I have, and then of course in Jamaica, how do we say I love you? Miguel Del Sugar. A pleasure, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. So refreshing. And also it's a sign of inclusion, diversity. You can tell what a diversity. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is Romeo Mitchell, which is his HTS advisory board. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremony. I'm indeed mesmerized. In fact, I came with something to say, but I think the last artist actually took my mind away. But protocols already established, ladies and gentlemen. I noticed that there are a few Rotarians here, and I would like to say thank you very much for being here. In fact, Lady Abba is a Rotarian, and we have another Rotarian in the back. We have our president of the Milton Rotary Club. I'm also the past president of the Milton Rotary Club, and I am an assistant district governor with the District 780. Which encompasses Halton and the wider areas. But I know that I have 2 minutes, so I will be very brief. It's an honor and a privilege to contribute formally to usher ACCH into existence. In fact, ACCH has been in existence well beyond this time. And the reason why I know that, my interface is with Lady Abba, or Rotarian Adebisola, affectionately known as Lady Abba. It's moments like this that brings important memories to our future, and it's an important milestone. In my profession, I typically say people make things happen, and it was funny because many of the statements made tonight seem to, or this evening, seem to go along the same theme. Either people making things happen, working together, etc. First of all, I would like to thank Adebisola, Lady Abba, for her relentless pursuit towards the establishment of ACCH. This is an extremely, extremely important and momentous time. Thank you, Lady Abba. Sometimes we have to reflect on our own journey to understand the importance of ACCH. I came from an island where we say people are happy-go-lucky. Now, if you've been to the Caribbean, you will probably figure out which island I'm talking about, but you may not gather that from my accent. Because folks from that island, we are chameleons. I started my journey, my education journey in the island, and I moved to Jamaica, then I moved to England. It was all an educational journey. I always saw myself as a person of the world, not a person of an island, just simply an island. But what I found interesting was eventually when I found myself applying to immigrate to Canada, I was told, we want people like you. You have the right qualifications, etc. And I thought, yeah, In fact, I visited Canada when I was doing my graduate studies. I was a visiting student at the University of Toronto. And I thought, Toronto was a cross between New York and London, right? And I thought it was great. So anyway, I'm trying to move on quickly, Mr. Master Sermon. So I arrived here. I was absolutely welcomed by the immigration, welcome home, etc. And then I looked in the distance and I saw someone from my island who was also an immigration officer that I knew from my local community. How fascinating that can be. Well, that was the end of the welcome. Like everything else, you come with the appropriate papers, you have the Canadian documents, everything. So I went to the bank to make a deposit. And believe it or not, the bank said that they cannot open an account for me. I go, interesting. Well, like everything else, I have an attitude where I believe that you just need to keep moving, right? You don't have time to spend to make people change, right? Let them learn from your, from your positive behavior. And the second experience I had, I called an agency, right? And they listened, I guess, to my accent. They looked at my resume. They never saw me. And they looked at my name, Romeo Mitchell. Well, Mitchell is Scottish, okay? And Romeo had a slight sort of British accent, whatever it is, right? Anyway, I was told, we want you, we need you, we have a client for you, etc. Please come down to see me. I was all excited. Well, I went down, I knocked on the door, said, please come in. I walked in, he said, can I help you? I said, hi, I'm Romeo Mitchell. He sat back in his chair for a moment, and he was sort of holding the resume, and he said, you know, hesitantly, have a seat. I sat down, and then he moved and said, I have a proposition for you. Are you interested in horse grooming? I looked at him, and I paused for a moment, and I calmly said, unfortunately, the role that you have just described for me, it's definitely not within my qualifications. I am absolutely not qualified for this role. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. And I totally walked out. Okay? But you see, this experience is not unique. Okay? And the reason why I want to thank Lady Alba for what she is doing, it's experiences like this, ACCH, will work to eliminate. Okay, so finally, I would like to close by saying, I follow a fundamental principle. We discover who we are by what we think. We define who we are by what we say. We determine who we are by what we do. Keep up the great work.
Thank you very much. Let's keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mitchell. You are absolutely right, indeed. You are absolutely right. And it's why ACCH is here, is to tackle this kind of things we were experiencing before. Now it's time for us to move forward, to work together, and to be empowered, and to be with strength and with advocacy. Thank you very much, Mr. Mitchell. Our next guest is Honorable Adam Van Coverden. In the 2019 Canadian federal election, Honorable MP Van Coverden was elected to the Canadian House of Commons, representing the electoral district of Milton as a member of the Liberal Party of Canada Caucus. Well, please join us on the stage to address few words. Thank you.
Bonjour tout le monde. C'est un grand plaisir d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui. Dejisola, thank you for organizing everything. Thank you to everybody that helped at Dejisola. She never works in isolation. You're such a good team builder, and it's just incredible to have watched as you build this wonderful organization over the last little while. As I said, it's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I left door knocking to come and chat with you. Obviously, there's an election going on. I don't know if you've heard, there's an election going on right now. I'm glad to be here with some fellow Rotarians. I haven't ever been a member of the Rotary Club, but I depended on the Rotary Club when I was an athlete, but also after my athletic pursuits. I was raising money for and awareness for clean water projects in the Middle East and in Africa, and I climbed Kilimanjaro twice. And both times the Rotary Club was there because one of the pillars of the Rotary Club, which is something that I learned, was making sure that clean water, hygiene, and sanitation are available to everybody in the world. So when we climbed Kilimanjaro the second time, they were really there for us. And when I got back, they made me a Paul Harris Fellow. And if you're a Rotarian, then you know what that means. So thank you very much to Rotarians for all your community service. Prior to where I am right now, ordinarily I would say je suis le député pour Milton, mais maintenant ici je suis le candidat dans l'élection fédérale. I'm not the MP right now, I'm a candidate, and I want to get back to work because I so enjoyed standing up for my colleagues, my constituents, mes commettants en français, for the last 2 years, and we made some good things happen in Milton. You know, I'm really proud of the progress we've made. You set big goals and aspirations when you run But without really great community contributions and enthusiastic volunteers, none of that stuff would happen. And today I got a chance to reflect on that when I attended the service at my favorite church in Milton, the House of David, and my friend Pastor Olumide is here. And I reflected on going to service in 2019 during the election and seeing the motto of the House of David as live a meaningful life. And prior to being in politics, I was an athlete. I got to compete at 4 Summer Olympics, and I thought there was a lot of meaning in racing at the Olympics for Canada. But man, the last 2 years have really made that seem very selfish. Because in the last 2 years, we've been able to find solutions for people locally. And I also got to work as the Parliamentary Secretary for Diversity and Inclusion in Youth, which means that I got to work on all the anti-racism action programs, the Black Community Service Organization programs, and I'm happy to say that 7 local organizations were recipients of that organization in the last round. Olumide is laughing because the House of David is one of them, but congratulations on the application, and Adejisola, so is the Nigerian Business Association, because of all of the amazing work that you guys are doing. It's my privilege to find support programs. It's my honor to represent all of these great ideas and these initiatives at the federal government level. We started together the Parliamentarian Black Caucus, which is senators and MPs from various communities and backgrounds, and most major parties represented, and we come together to talk about issues that impact Black Canadians. And we come together to talk about how to create progress for Canadians of African and Caribbean descent and origin, and that's the work that I want to get back to in a couple of weeks. On your behalf, I've been very, very privileged to go back to Ottawa and keep speaking up about these and very many other important issues, and thank you for the opportunity to talk today, and thank you for the invitation. Merci et au revoir.
Thank you twofold. You are gold medalist, so we are proud of you being a Canadian, and also thank you all what you are doing for our community. Thank you very much. Our last performance today will be Sea Flower Dance Group. Sea Flower is a dance troupe comprised of 4 Afro-Caribbean women who have performed at over 235 venues through the GTA. They promote unity between the African and Caribbean community through authentic Afro-dance choreography, expressed through fluid, intricate traditional dance patterns through every musical beat. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's put together our hands to welcome Sea Flower.
Hello everyone, how are you feeling? Wow. You know you can talk through your mask, right? I said, how are you feeling? Let's hear it, we're outside, right? Yes. So we are Sea Flavor, we are so excited to perform for you today, but first we have to test out the crowd. So you know when you're making a really good stew, you have to go and put in the seasoning, you have to let it marinate, right? So we have to just see who's in the crowd, what's the flavor like in the crowd. So, I have a question for you all today. Are you feeling flavorful today? Yes. I almost believe you. So I'm going to ask you one more time. But before I ask you that, I will tell you guys that we are here to show that there is unity between all the communities through our dancing, because dance is a language. So let me ask Ono again. Are you feeling flavorful today? Yes. Flavors in the pot. So we're going to dance for you, then we're going to have a moment where we want you to dance for us with your mask and safely in your first. Yes. All right, DJ, drop that.
Adjust your volume now, 2 decibels. Test complete.
I find you, I give
Zinola Kidana Mati, Wasikocha Ponti, Kukumba, Waka Fonta Samadi, Tinalek, Shika no Kumba, Baby make a keep you solid, make a you drink some Italian, Pao, they were giving me she feel da 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 da, she feel da 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 da, she feel da 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 da, she feel da 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 da. She said to infinity, 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 infinity. She said make a put it in, put it in, put it in, put it in. She said till infinity, oh. Infinity, oh, infinity, oh. She said make her put it in, make her put it in, put it in, put it in.
shell it up, shell it up, shell. So the girl them do it real easy. Waistline spread like Stevie. Everywhere to mash up. Bumpers over the dash up. Good boy go and just take a while and let the kid get your lash up. Rock them up in the air. Lick I in on the system. So me a kill them. So me a lick them. Breathe. You wanna know how we do it? Breathe. You look at me and do it. Breathe. You wanna know how we do it? Breathe. Now everybody start me. Everything nice, everything fun. Girl, I fling down waist, and I bring down place. Like ching chong waist, ching chong down place. Shell it up, shell it up, shell. So the girl them do it real easy, simple, easy. Shell it up, shell it up, shell. So the girl them do it real easy, waistline spin like Speedy. Fly down to your nice side. We are doing it in a fine side. Everything is a slack way. From slack there to slack there. Bend over, get chat. So we have a lucky. Thank you
guys so much for having us and allowing us to show you our flavor. We've seen your flavor, you've seen ours. Now all that's left to do is follow us on Instagram at Boxy Flavor, okay? When I say see, y'all say flavor. See? Flavor. See?
Flavor.
Thank you.
Wow, that was fantastic. They did everything except breakdance there. That was fantastic. So everybody, let's give them one more hand. Flavor. Okay. Well, I want to just thank each and every one of us that made it happen today. Today was a great day in the history and the life of ACCH. I want to thank all the performers, all our honorable guests, all the participants. Everybody did a fantastic job. I want to thank all the members of ACCH, and especially I want to thank the heart and soul of this organization, which is Mrs. Ajisola. And I want to just say that it's an honor for myself and my co-host to host this event this evening. Let's give it up to Dr. Galio. This young man did a fantastic job, and we thank God for him. Yes, I know. We still have one more person that was going to come and give a vote of thanks. But before he does come up, sorry. I'm meeting all these people for the first time, so I don't know if it's a man I'm calling or a woman I'm calling. But I just want to, on behalf of ACCH, I want to just say thank you for the opportunity to host this event. I want to just leave you with this this prayer. All of us have heard so many things today. We've heard a lot of inspirational talk. And I just want to say that I pray that everything that we have learned today will truly convey to each and every one of us that we are wonderful, that we are powerful, that we are born with the gift, and chance and luck is only a myth. I pray that we will begin to see the importance of our contribution to our world to serve the needs of every boy and every girl. We pray that we will act with faith and love decisively, knowing that there's no victory in living cowardly. We pray that with the blessing and conviction of courage, we will begin to knock down every wall that stands before us. We pray that every molehill, every mountain, and every challenge that we face will be a stepping stone to achieve new grace. We pray that we will rise above every worry, doubt, and fear and declare to the world why we at ACCH are here. We pray that with divine help, determination, and perseverance, we will begin with purpose to make our appearance. I want all of us here to mark this day, for in the future we will recall a decision that we have made once and for all, to march forward as a community and as a group of people. We pray that we will cast off unbelief and mediocrity and insecurity and invest our precious time developing our gifts and our story. We pray that at the end of our time on earth, with amazement, we will discover that we have been a light to those who are in darkness, a comfort to those who are brokenhearted, a joy to them that are in sadness, a peace to the restless, a friend to the friendless, and a hope to the hopeless. With that, I want to invite Miss Christine McIntosh to come and conclude with a vote of thanks. Thank you very much on behalf of Dr. and myself, and thank you for the opportunity to host this event. God bless you all. And how do we say it in French?
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Ça a été un honneur immense d'être devant vous, de nous avoir permis d'être les modérateurs de cet événement exemplaire, exceptionnel. Je vais juste terminer en anglais cette fois-ci avec quelque chose d'obama. At this moment, we all face a choice. We can choose to press forward with the betterment of cooperation and integration, or we can retreat in the world sharply divided and ultimately in conflict. President Obama, United Nations General Assembly Conference. ACCHP is here to press forward with a better model of cooperation, integration, inclusion, and diversity. Let's go for ACCHP. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow, whew, what an amazing event today. First and foremost, honorable representatives, respected community leaders, and our most valued invited guests in person as well as online. It is my esteemed privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks to all who have helped making this event such a resounding and special success. An event like this cannot happen overnight, as Lady Adejisola and the rest of the council had concluded to earlier this afternoon. It took a lot of work and it endured minor delay due to that bad word, COVID. We required a lot of work to keep each and every one of us safe, so that's why we had to follow protocols. The wheels started rolling about a year ago to get this launch up and running, and I am so proud of each and every one of you and all the hard work that everybody has done within the community. There's still a lot of work to be done, and we've done great things so far, so thank you so much, everybody. We can't thank you enough. I want to, on behalf of the African Caribbean Council of Halton and the ACC official launch, would like to extend special thanks, and sorry, I know I'm probably short for time, so I probably won't read all of the names, I'll try to, but special thanks to the following: Honorable Minister Anita Anand, Honorable Minister Karina Gould, Councillor Kearns for the Burlington Mayor's Address, His Worship Mayor Gordon Krantz of Milton, Honorable Minister Karina Gould, Councillor Samira Ali, MP Adam Van Couverden, Director of Education Curtis Ennis from Halton District School Board, Patrick Daly, Director of Education of Halton Catholic School Board, Meg Matsos, Director of the Burlington Library, our moderators, Mr. Duru Akirimi, Duru, I apologize if I didn't say that properly, and Dr. Lamin Diallo, Elder Stephen Paquette from our Anishinaabe relatives, Marie-Therese Aratois, Pastor Edumindu, sorry if I butchered that, our BMIs, Ms. Evangeline Chima, Sheldon Williams, VP Canadian Caribbean Associate of Halton, Deidre Conan, Aquaba Community, VP, Dennis Scott of Halton, Black History Awareness Society, performers Baba Williams and band, C Flava, which you guys did a great job, all of the performers did, Lucky Sticks, Gloria Gift Nankunanda, President of Rotary Club of Milton, Wale Asumulami. Sorry if I didn't say that properly. Renee Poppin, President of Rotary Club of Central Burlington. And last but not least, New Olusoga, a resident of Milton and a volunteer of ACCH. Next, the ACCH board members, Ms. Edosa Adams Edode, Mr. Abi Salami, Romeo Mitchell, Solomon Ndigema, and our powerful and amazing president, Lady Adejisola Atiba. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for us all. And guests with us here and in person and remote, once again, I want to state that we are all most grateful to the speakers and performers that graced the stage today. We thank you all for being with us this afternoon. It's been a great pleasure for all of us, and thank you all for your support. Stay safe and good night.